Guys, welcome to the Bazaar. Today I'm going to give you a little bit of a different type of content. I'm surprised I haven't done this because I mean, not actually surprised because the open beta just got, or the official game release was just a few weeks ago. So technically speaking, there wasn't an incentive to actually do a meta snapshot, I'm gonna call it, type of video. Now that we have like the player base, and I want to say there's more characters to actually go off a non-triangle meta basis, because I'm gonna tell you something, guys. When there's only 3 things in the meta, you can't actually name it a meta because you just have like a triangle effect. You can't really on a very based scale say like this character is better than the other because XYZ. When you have like a 4-factor coming in, you can say like this is the best character. But I'm only gonna give you for today. I'm going to give you what are the top builds, and for the sake of me telling you which is the best, I'm only gonna tell you which is the best character, not the best build, because I think the builds are a little bit contingent on how you hit. But that's just that at the end of the day is which character has like the best overall builds, because you can say like Pig has the best 10 weight win rate build, for example, in percentage wise, but that doesn't mean he has like 5 different builds, for example, and all of them just win consistently. And for the sake of the video, listen, I'm gonna unstigmatize this. 10 wins is not the goal, right? So I'm gonna rate every single build by a 7 win standard. That means like if you manage to get to 7 wins, that is what I call a good build, right? Because I'm gonna tell you all is the way they're gonna have to change how the ghosts are drafted later when the game is like more developed, because you can't just go up against strong builds, right? Let's take for example, there's 10 builds and there's 10 ghosts, right? The game is only gonna pair you up, or that's how I feel like it's coded right now. It only pairs you up against strong ghosts. You're never gonna go against this person who's like not hitting ever. When have you seen you've been on the side of the board where, damn, I'm not hitting. I'm day 7. My build is like I'm just sacking this turn, right? Just gonna go for gold, keep my gold for better shops, right? And your build is like your day is super ass, and you feel like you are the person in that seat, but you never go up against that ghost ever, right? Because I think how the way is coded, how the way the game is coded, I think it puts you up a character, and I think people in Reddit have like a better assumption of this. I think it puts you up against people that actually won their last day. Like let's say for example, or not win their last day. They won the day that they're in with that ghost, right? More rather, right? Because they're not gonna put you against a losing build, obviously, because you might just win the game from having bad ghosts, right? But they're gonna have to change that later. Anyway, I digress. I'm gonna give you the top builds. I'm not gonna rant because this is not the point of the video. You guys hear me fucking rant a lot. I'm not gonna do it. I promise. It'd be fucking 30 minutes of ranting, but I'm gonna try not to. I'm gonna start out. I'm gonna. By the way, shout out to what is this? Mobilytics. This is where I grabbed the builds from. So this is pretty. There's basically their snapshots, but I agree 100% with this. And it's not even like I agree with this. It's like the general senses. If you go, I'm gonna say the biggest biggest source of information that it's not, besides YouTubers, of course. It's like Reddit and / Discord, so you can like have like a statistic of what people think is like the best build. So this is, of course, they have like statistics and shit, but it's like I said, like stats sometimes don't do builds justice. But anyways, let's go in. I'm gonna go into each character individually in each build, right? So I'm gonna start out with Vanessa. This is, guys, it's Crow's Nest, guys. I set this. Go go look at my old videos. Go click a Vanessa video. I've probably said this when I literally had no information about the game. And of course, I'm saying this with hindsight, of course. But back then, when I said it was zero hindsight, Crow's Nest is an item that is eventually going to get either removed or nerfed to the ground where, how do I say, you can't do this. Look at this build, by the way. Like, this could be any weapon. This could be any haste item. The silencer is one of the best items. You can't change that item. Of course, Crow's Nest. I do understand there's like the builds are based off of certain items, Crow's Nest being one of them. But it's like Crow's Nest is never gonna be power crept, right? Because making a better Crow's Nest is insane. How do you make Crow's Nest better? So it's like for the rest of eternity, Vanessa's just gonna be locked into using Crow's Nest as a one weapon alternative. Like there's no substitute, right? And you can say like for any other characters there's substitutes, but for Vanessa building one shot builds, this is it. Like this is what you're gonna do. This is the new item, but really, guys, like if you play Vanessa, you know this could literally be Crow's Nest. The haste fish that gains haste when you haste. There's like so many combinations of this. You just need a weapon that has good DPS along with Crow's Nest. Whatever. This build has been since the beginning of the fucking game, by the way. It's not going anywhere. I do think it's the Vanessa's best build right now. I'm just gonna put out that it's Vanessa's best build because it turbos Mac. By the way, weapon builds are broken because Mac. I'm not gonna give you any spoiler. Mac is very strong, right? And if you have any build that just hits Mac in the head, just show him that there's a reason why magic users are supposed to have tanks in the middle, right? You show him why he's a simple potion user. Magic does not well in his realm. He's just a fucking wizard. You just hit him with a sword, bam. There you go. So yeah, one weapon Vanessa or whatever you want to call it. This is a build that to me is kind of interesting, but the more I think about it, people are just trying to hit late game builds with other characters, and of course we know this. Vanessa is the character that has the best. He has the best chances to build an aggro build. Before we could have said Pig 2 because he could have done like a crook build, medium weapon. But for this patch or where we're at right now, 2-second katana, I forgot what this item's called. Buffing all these items along with cannon. Fuck, what is this name called, guys? There's been some time since I've played Vanessa with it. Cannonade. There we go. It's Shark Claws with Cannonade. So you have Shark Claws buffing Cannonade, buffing Katana, and short cooldown items. This is just basically like a burst build. Along with Alacrity, there's Fist of Flurry, whatever you want to call it. It just the point of this build is literally to kill your opponent before he tries to ramp up in any shape or form. And let me close these out because actually no, let's leave them there because I want to see something at the end of the video. Then we have Puffer Fish. This build has dramatically dropped off in, I don't want to say popularity, but I think people understand if you're going to do any iteration of poisoning or anything or healing, you just do Mac, bro. Right? Of course, if you're playing Vanessa and you're hitting like 2 to 3 how do I say, like non-weapon shops per day, like you have to go into this, right? And not to say this isn't good because like damage seaweed is insanely good, poison seaweed is insanely good, but it just depends on enchantments a lot. If your build depends on enchantments, it's not a good build, right? If your builds are like no enchantments broken, then this is like decent broken. Like a lot of builds just out poison this, out shield this, or out DPS this by their own. Like I'm not saying it's bad, but you have to hit like a golden large item, and you have to hit like, not to say that if you go to aquatic shops you can just hit all of these, but these are like scaling items that scale like with tier. This golden, but this only scales with tier. This only scales with tier. Um, this does this scale with tier? No, this doesn't scale with tier. This scales with tier. Unless you have like abilities, right? So, it is what it is. This is still decent in the meta right now. Okay, then we have Pig. Listen, Pig literally has the same builds. This is just fucking giant ice club Pig. But I think it's a little bit better now because I think Pig is the only character that, let's say you have like Infinite Mac and Infinite Pig. Pig is generally gonna destroy Mac just because he one shots, right? Mac can fucking have 2,000 health regen or 3,000 health regen. He can be burning you for like a million. But if Pig goes Oonga Boonga Ice Club, fucking send you into Hearthstone with one ice club in the head, there's no point of you like scaling to infinite, right? Like he just one shots you, right? Especially with like this, you have like 15k health with this build at this point. Like unless Mac is like perma freezing you with potions, like I think this is like the best Pig build right now, right? Because very few builds can like counter this, right? It has to be like, I think it's Friend Dulie can counter it and Scimitar if anything, but you have to like have like so much. You have to have like a stacked Scimitar to like burst into 15k health. But still, like there's like a really, I know it's good. If you play Pig, you absolutely what you have. If you go through the toughest days, which are day 10, 11, 12, where you're going against like Friend Dulie and Vanessa builds, and you're not completely stacked up, you actually just win the later days. Then we have Drum. Again, this is just like Vanessa's version of the Cannoneer build for Pig. I guess this one's a little bit worse because you have to have Adalao stacked. And I guess these are just items that are like on very different shops. Like you have to go like into weapon shops. You have to go into toy shops or non-item shops. Usually when items don't have like synergies or like how do I say, like attribute synergies, they're like harder to build, if that makes sense. Like this build is really good, but you have to have like this in diamond late game. This has to be in diamond absolutely because it needs to charge for 4 seconds. And you need this, right? Because it's what gives this multicast. But it's just a burst build, right? It doesn't actually like beat very good Mac builds, but it's like decent enough. It's one of the better builds, right? And then we have, surprisingly, bro, I don't know how this is here. I was actually surprised when I saw this here. It's Fixer Upper. But again, this build is really contingent on how do I say, enchantments, because if you hit like multicast, double shields, Fixer Upper, this just goes crazy, right? And if you have like a decent enchantment with the shield, and I think like shiny version of this gives more cooldown reduction to this. So, and if you're really stacked on money, this shields for like a million too. There's really nothing to say about this. Like Fixer Upper is just like fucked, right? Or it's still good, but it's just not harder to hit. It's just as easy to hit, sorry. Then we're gonna go into Dulie now. Dude, I'm not gonna say this now, but I'm gonna say it when I go into Mac. It's really important. So, and I'm going to completely go against this, by the way, because I just saw this today. Like I saw the complete guide, or not guide, like the builds. These 5 items are super insane, and I see this because Dulie's a character. Not that Dulie's main gimmick is power drill, right? Dulie's main gimmick is like his core, along with a centerpiece of an item. What I say is you build usually around an item, but the rest of the items just are supports for that item, right? It's not like. Let me give you a comparison. Like if you have like these Vanessa builds, let me give you this for example. Like these items could be substituted, right? Of course. But there's no main item here. Like this could be anything, this could be anything, this could be anything, this could be anything, this could be anything. Of course, this is like the best combination of items. But like Dulie goes like, if you go like Power drill, you need metronome, you need things that work as line with power drill, or things that work around with robotics facility. Because robotics facilities, I think it's the best multicast item, just because Dulie has this thing where he works way too well with friends. It's like Vanessa with weapons, and that's really fucking good because when you go into a shop, everything is like interchangeable, right? It doesn't matter what friend you put, you still have a decent board, and that's Dulie's like one of his biggest strength is that no matter what shop you go into, you still gonna have something decent to like buy, so you can have like a subpar board at the very least, right? I'm against this build though because even though Power Drill goes like infinite almost with these items, like it goes like pop 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 pop. When you go late game, it's not really about you going infinite with Power Drill. It's like literally perma freezing and slowing your opponents with these two items, right? To me, the best efficient build for this is this might sound stupid, is literally Aiden with one of the there's either two choices. You go Aiden with it's the friend that burns on multicast, that burns every time you proc a friend. That fucking item goes infinite, right? So it's like basically procking Power Drill, but you need Aiden as a starter because Aiden will instantly proc all the other friends, like instantly, like on a 4-second cooldown, and you can't play on a 6-second cooldown because that's the default cooldown of these items, unless you have like what's it fucking called, rigged or some shit like that. This Power Drill is like subpar, especially on the later days. You just need to perma freeze your opponent. That being said, Dulie having Dulie, I mean, Pig was always the best freeze character, but Dulie having like a lock strategy now where he didn't have before is absolutely good now, right? Because now you don't have to like go into pure damage. You can actually just like kill your opponent with through ailments or whatever you want to call it, whatever. This is still good. Power Drill still goes crazy, but the problem is you can't get cauldroned. By the way, I'm actually surprised. Okay, never mind. You can't get cauldroned, which is a Mac item, and expect for you to survive 1,000 burn damage after, or out DPS 1,000 burn with this, right? You gotta go Aiden proc and freeze the cauldron as soon as possible, right? This is a very popular build, but listen. As I think I just have a very strong opinion because I play Dulie a lot, but this build, I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't see me building this other than I don't see me building a Bug Dulie. Building this instead of Bug Dulie. And I get it. This will automatically charge Mamasaur to destroy 2 items at the beginning of the board, which is absolutely fucking insane against some builds, like for example Vanessa. But bro, like if this gets frozen, you automatically lose, bro, because you're basing your build off instances of charge where this gets frozen, you're not going anywhere. Like, yeah, and this you have to basically this has to be like very stacked. If you manage to grab like ammo abilities with the PvE monsters, maybe, because then you have like 5 ammo. I don't know. You're way too dependent on this being diamond. You're way too dependent on this being diamond, right? I don't know how this got here. Maybe it's a little too broken on the later days, but to like pivot to this is kind of wild to me, right? I don't know, man. To me, that's kind of wild. This one is actually these are based off stats. I'm gonna be a little bit surprised because I know this for a fact that this is good because I've played this for a lot. The problem is the only way this one shots is if you force defense grid upgrades, which is okay. It's easier to do now, of course, with how abilities work, and enchantments are really good on defense grid because it's like Cauldron. If you manage to cast fucking 400 poison or burn, they're just gonna get it with battery and this charging this. Absolutely crazy, especially if you get this shield enchanted. It's donezo. But yeah, The problem is shield core isn't that good anymore. Like poison is too prevalent, regen is too prevalent. I guess it's okay. Oh, and by the way, the way reserve shield works now, or it's defense grid if I'm not mistaken, they work on first proc items, which isn't really a deterrent. But let's say for example they slow or freeze you at the beginning of the round, and let's say you manage to battery first, to say something, and or sorry, if you manage to proc your force shield first because it doesn't proc at the beginning of the battle, and they damage you in between, this is not gonna go infinite, or it's just not gonna one shot. But this is like playing. You have the ability to play pig as being Dulie, and this is like I said, that fucking Ice Club build is really good against Mac. So if you manage to get here, you're gonna win against Mac on the later days. And I've been saying Mac a lot because I do have a little opinion here. I'm gonna fucking tell you in a sec. But those are the Dulie builds. I concur. I'm actually don't understand. I guess. Listen, I guess there's a lot of opinions on which is the best build. I guess people are really based on streamers, I guess, or influenced, or build pages, because they don't necessarily have something to base themselves off of. But I still think Fire Core is still really good. But it amazes me that none of the good Dulie builds have cores in them, right? Just sack the core. Okay. Now we managed to get here. Guys, this is the infamous Mac with his infinite bottle build. If you guys don't know what this does, this literally says, pull out a fucking scientific calculator. I'm going to kill you by crashing the game. If you guys don't know what that means. This item what basically does is that it control outs deletes your opponent's screen. No, really. This item what it basically does is it doubles its damage every time it's proc. This gives multicast, so you like proc it twice. I think it starts on diamond. I think it's 40 damage, and I'm not mistaken. So it goes 40 to 80, 80 to 160, right? That's the first proc. The second proc goes 320 to 680, right? You're still alive, right? You're still alive, right? But then it goes till you're dead, basically, essentially. So this is crazy, man. This build is like very little builds survive this, and I'm gonna give you a little opinion here. Maybe this haste potion is good, but let's say for example you manage to get like haste procs on this and these haste, and you don't have to put this, and you put like ice potion here. Dude, like, your opponent is literally not playing, by the way. Or, he's not even playing, but he's looking at himself get scientific calculator. That's best I could put. And this is what I was going to say earlier. Mac was what has basically introduced into the game is what we know as power creep, right? And I don't know if you guys took this in, but when we were playing the game before the introduction of Mac, I don't know if you guys realized some of the characters that weren't out, their items were way too fucking good. If you guys don't remember, Haste Potion, when you got Haste Potion on any other character, you absolutely nutted. Like, Haste Potion is one of the best items in the game because it literally just hastes all your items, right? But this is like the new haste potion, but the old haste potion used to haste itself and it was on a 4-second cooldown. It's super fucking nerfed now. But we used to have hindsight in the sense that, damn, if this is what Mac is gonna feel like, I don't even want to see the rest of his items. And that's essentially what it is. But this build is broken, yes. But I'm gonna tell you why why does it feel just looking at this is bad. You guys don't know, this item, when you enchant it, whatever the potions you craft with it, because bro, this is like, this is potion class, by the way. This is literally, you sit down, watch Harry Potter, fucking tune in, there's Professor Snape. Professor Snape is in the fucking Bazaar right now. He's gonna hit you up with the best fucking potion. Imagine he's gonna go like, what do you fucking want, my broski? I got you. You sit, Professor Potions you want, or you want freeze potions? I got you, bro. Here you fucking go. The problem is, if you go like shield enchanted, you get like iterations of the best shield potions. Like for example, if you get like the heal potion, the shields, you just build shield Mac, right? If you go damage build or damage potion for the potion thingamabob, you get double damage. You can't actually enchant this, sorry, but you can get the heal potion again, but damage wise. So there's like you can see like you can build into any fucked up Mac build that you want with this, right? And not only this gives you, if you guys know how Mac works, this gives you infinite money, bro. I'm talking about like you're gonna get the whole Federal Reserve on your side. I'm telling you, like, imagine there's 20 ghosts on your run. You're basically gonna use their entire wallet, bro. Their entire crypto wallet, their entire portfolio is on your disposal right now. You're using everybody's fucking money, right? You're buying everything, bro. That's why I see sometimes when I'm like, I didn't realize this. Mac is supposed to have the worst health scaling. That is his niche. He's like a glass cannon, right? But then I realized while playing Mac, I'm like, why don't I just wait to get these potions? Diamond with the fucking large item. Oh fuck, what's it called? I don't want to. It doesn't say what the name is. But whatever. Why don't you just wait to get the diamond versions of these items instead of going to random shops and you just spam chocolates, bro? And then, because you have infinite money, sometimes you see Mac on day 7, day 6, and he has fucking 2k health, and I'm like, you're getting scammed, quite literally, by the way, because the guy has like 150 gold on his pocket. So it just feels fucking unfair. I said I wasn't gonna rant, but that's my Mac rant. I'm not gonna do it anymore, guys. So apparently, Mac said, okay, listen, I'm good. I'm gonna kill you with a gimmick, right? But then, this is the fucking problem, bro. Where the fuck is it? This is the problem. Then he hits you with the framer. Sorry, I even, like, my voice even cracked because that is literally how you feel when you get hit by this fucking club. And I don't know why they did this. And I think this is a change they have to make in the game sooner or later. Instances of proc on one item, if they're not independent by multicast, they still give multiple charges. Okay, and I'm going to explain myself. This item says you gain regen and slow 3 items, right? But it doesn't on not multicast 3, doesn't on one single proc. But for some fucking reason, it charges this 3 times, right? And that is absolutely dumb. Because by the time you activate this once, not only are you perma-slowed, because you have this slows for like 15 or some shit like that, bro. Like you're gonna open your run, you're gonna go into your run, right? You can basically, by the time your items are stopped slowing, you can actually like play an entire run. That's how fucked up this is, and this one shots you, right? Okay, there you go. Which is crazy because this item was on the game and nobody used it. And slow items were really good. Like, nobody actually got this item, picked it up, for example, for Vanessa or any other character that had like the best slow items in the game and just played this, right? Which is crazy to me. Like, if you have rope plus femur, Vanessa's rope plus femur, if I'm not mistaken, it has the same interactions as this. So you slow 4 items, it stretches 4 times. I don't know why. That's a crazy build, but it's somehow in all my time at the Bazaar, I never seen that. And you know what? I think this is the last Mac build. There's no cauldron, and to me that was shocking. That just means people are literally just spamming Poppy Field, and Firmer. I guess the bottled expansion build too, but I think most of the people are just running these 2 build Firmer and this because it's I was saying earlier, bottled expansion might have the best 10 win rate build for Mac, but if you go Poppy Field and slow Firmer, you're absolutely fucking guaranteed your 7 wins and you're going to climb easy, right? So the problem with Poppy Field is this. For some reason, I don't think any single you see this items, right? You see these items, they look really shitty, right? But for some reason, I feel like this build is the build that most one-shots in the game. I'm talking like Pig could be holding like a fucking 15k double whammy with 20k health, and for some reason this will kill you in 5 seconds. I don't know the math behind it, by the way. And I don't know the math, and he's not using explosion flask that does a scientific calculator damage, but I've seen this like in 5 seconds. This goes to like 800 damage. This goes to like 800 damage, and your opponent has 800 poison on them. Don't ask me how. There's a lot of fucking math in between. There's like internal cooldowns, because if you guys, I'm gonna tell you what it does. Just so you guys have simple concept. If you guys haven't run into this to Mac, good. You're not as your head isn't broken like mine, right? So what this does is that this gives damage to your weapon equal to your opponent's poison. And every time you deal damage with a weapon, you poison, right? And these two items have charging abilities when you poison. So basically, it's like, bro, how do I say? It's like touching yourself to poison, basically. There's no other way to put it. You're just, man, choking your opponent with poison. Listen, and this is crazy to me because I'm a Dulie player. People bitch about Monitor Lizard to the point that where they had to hotfix it. I don't know how people are not doing this with this. Ran over. By the way, I still think the patch. Okay, I'm gonna end it here because these are all the builds. I still think the patch is one of the best balanced patches I've seen. Why? Because Mac absolutely gets destroyed the first 3 days, right? If we're on an evil playing field, right? I think Mac is a little bit too strong. His items need tier rearranging. I feel like Bottle Distillery is like, or what's it called? Shit, man, I've been killed with this. Okay, the Bottle Explosion build is the Distillery. Yeah, Potion Distillery needs like a gold. How do I say? Should be gold locked, along with Femur 2. So that way you're forced to pivot and not like get these items on a silver. How do I say it, rarity, and they have to switch a few items up. Is what I'm trying to say. In case of rarity, because if you guys don't know, rarity upgrades and downgrades are the biggest buffs and nerfs in my opinion. If you really want to buff an item, lock it into a lower rarity, and if you really want to nerf an item, just lock it into a higher rarity. Right? Why? Because an item is gold, you're not gonna see it until day 8 consistently, right? And that's a huge nerf because you can't build an item. Guys, if you see this, look at this. Look at all these builds that are like. I'm gonna show you again. Look, silver, or I'm gonna show you the most important item of these builds. Look how they're locked into. Bronze, or I think this is silver now, if I'm not mistaken. I guess Ice Club is the only one, but Pig, I don't think differs from that because Pig is just trying to stack. But this is bronze. Comes bronze too, if I'm not mistaken, or it's silver. But it's not the same thing. These all come in bronze, except this and this. But the most important thing is just having this and this, right? And they're both common bronze. All bronze except this. Bronze. This got buffed, nerfed into silver, but this is silver too. But as you can see, like most of the items that you have in your build, the good ones, are just items you get. Bro, I don't even want to talk about this build. This build is like absolutely fucking dumb. Silver, bronze, silver. You see, like you don't have, like the best items in the game aren't even locked into diamond, bro. And I don't understand that. Like, if you have a diamond large item, it costs 50 game. It should literally skyrocket your build, and those diamond items don't actually do that. Silver, bronze. Or no, this is gold locked, if I'm not mistaken. This is gold locked. You can see like Mac's most broken build, bronze. Yeah, bronze. Gold, bronze, silver. See, like the more consistent you can build on your to your build during the earlier days, the crazier it gets, because you're not trying to pivot if you're not winning at the beginning, right? The more you're building into your build from the start of the game, the better it is, because you can like naturally pivot into it, right? So yeah, guys. So yeah. by census, I'm gonna tell you like Mac is just a better character, right? Because I think the problem is his econ. They have to nerf his econ. I don't think it's his build, but the fact that he's doing what Pig does but better is crazy. No, that's kind of crazy, right? I don't care that he goes like, but that makes his poison builds better, or that leaves his poison builds just as strong. There's some items that have to be tweaked, but I think generally speaking, since Bottled Explosion is the best build, I think his econ is way too good. Like the interactions with enchanted, how easily he gets enchanted items, blah blah blah. There's like he does so much. Does he deserve to be nerfed? Just a tiny bit. I still think he's balanced. The problem is that there's power creep, right? They need, and I said this in one of the older videos, they need to unbonk. I mean, bonk, if you guys don't know, it's a skill in the game that ups the cooldown of all your items by 1. I don't know why I keep saying this. You guys should know what bonk is, bro. It's like getting hit on your head. You fucking you are slowed in the brain for 1 second, right? This was the green bonkening, which happened. I want to say the patch before the open beta. The green bonkening. They should undo some of the bonked items from other characters, so they can leave him at the same level as Mac, especially Pig. And they've tried buffing Pig with the what's it called? The fuck. It's a fucking flavor text on him being a pig. Truffles, yeah. They've tried buffing him by including truffles, a truffles gimmick, so he has like another econ mechanic, but it's just not enough, bro. But anyways, yeah, man. Fuck this build just because, yeah, it's too broken. But anyways, again, guys, thank you for watching the video. Another purpose is that you guys just don't go into an echo chamber saying that the game is not balanced when it is really balanced, right? I understand that Mac is broken. They just need to tweak him a little, but he's not like... If I pick Dulie right now, I'm going to absolutely get my 7 wins. And like I said earlier in the beginning of the video, 7 wins is the goal. 7 wins is the goal. Yes, Mac is... you fucking see like a million Max like circle jerking day 10. You get it? But... for all intents and purposes, all the characters are in a good strength level. Yeah, Max needs to get tweaked, but don't put in an echo chamber that the guy needs to get put in a trash can. That is not the purpose of him. It's just power creep guys. The other characters will just get expansions and get just as good. Look at Dulie, he's much better. Pig just needs a little bit of tweaking. I think Pig is the worst one that got it. But the problem is Pig was strong last patch. Let him be a little bit, you know, and this is, bro, I'm giving him a little bit of airspace here, and you guys, if you don't know, I kind of detest Pig's playstyle. For some reason, Max is different. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. When they do another patch, another big patch, I'll try to do another one of these because I think these are very important, so people try more builds. Because if they know this is good, fine. But if they go into like, for example, fucking Spike, or what's it called, 3 Mace Spike Mac, I wouldn't be just as mad because at least that's a different build, right? Yeah, because this way people try other builds and just not try building the same ones that actually like work, right? We'll see another much more variety in the Bazaar, which I think was the intention of the game. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching the video. Keep having a good week, guys. Tomorrow is Friday. Yeah, gonna go into the Bazaar, get some more Dulie games back. You can try to climb the legend again. It's a huge grind, bro, especially with how competitive the meta is. But yeah, Dulie. Love you guys and peace.